let's go to South Africa.
Okay.
That's where we met, and as I said, get kind of pick up where we left off. Discipleship. You told me you were not really being discipled.
No.
I thought that you guys were. So what was the story there?
Well, what it was your teachings were being sent over, and obviously I'm assuming notes, because we were given notes. And
Okay.
I still to this day have my folder. But what it is you go and you read through it, and then you take that and you teach someone else. But to me, to be a real disciple, it's something that Christ has worked in you. It's showbread, to where it's so worked in you that he brings it forth and it's ministered to someone else, and it's life-giving. It changes. In South Africa, it was just revelation. It was just knowledge. And it didn't change because nobody had already, when we're talking about the blanket over the barbed wire, nobody had proceeded, had bore their stripes, had been corrected, had been confronted, had made the change, come back and said, let me show you the way. It was knowledge, revelation, and really what it does, it puffs up. It makes you arrogant and prideful, and that's really what it started doing to people, because then everybody started wanting to be over somebody. Whether it was men over men or women over women or whatever, everybody was seeking that. And it became sad to me because, I had really thought that I was being discipled, yet I'd never been corrected.
You define discipleship then as confrontational, correctional, discipline. Is that, because I hear you saying it in your wording, so in South Africa, is that what they consider, or you consider, or what? How do you consider?
I got the 12 requirements of a disciple, and I believe them. The thing is, you love the Lord your God above everything else. That you are going to be a disciplined learner. There are a lot of other things that you learn to bear your cross.
But discipline is a part of the word disciple.
That's the one thing that really stood out to me. A disciple is a disciplined learner, and applying yourself. And when in South Africa, nobody brought the word to say, look, I want to show you're not handling this right, you're not doing this right.
Confrontation and correction causes you to lose people, and losing people causes you to lose the ties.
But that's what
it really is true.
Yes, it is. It's not a
what they
church
call
building
usually
ministry.
User-friendly churches today do not correct people and confront. And when we do it here, I've seen a lot of people. I use that 1/3 principle. 1/3 principle is 2/3 stayed with Jesus and 1/3 went with Lucifer. And you correct somebody, and 1/3 of the people can't handle it. So out of every 3 people, 2 people can endure and not faint or despise, but 1 out of the 3 will despise and faint. That's the 3 ways you handle correction. You either endure it, despise it, or faint, Hebrews says. And that's what's happened in discipleship. When Christ said, make disciples, that's not an easy thing to do. The word make is different from winning souls. You can win somebody to Jesus, and they just serve Jesus and go back and put him on the party list of all the things they like. But, boy, when you make disciples, that's an obedience to the word.
Well, the thing that I have learned is that you have to make a decision on, do I love the Lord more than I love myself? And am I willing to die to what I want so that God can be glorified? A believer is somebody who believes in Jesus, and really, period, that's it. It's optional and everything's conditional. With a disciple, the Word of God is final authority. It is hard and it is difficult. The Word of God says these are hard and difficult sayings. Who can bear them?